Hello and welcome to Shikara Academy's UPSC Mains PYQ series. In this series, we will be discussing all the GS questions asked by UPSC from year 2013 to 2024. Today is our day 12. Let's begin. Now, this particular question was asked by UPSC in 2024 GS paper 1. How far is it correct to say that the First World War was fought essentially for the preservation of balance of power? It is a 15 marker question, 15 marks question that needs to be answered in 250 words. Mapping it with the syllabus, we can see that it has come from the world history part from the topic World Wars. So the question asks us to discuss the different factors and is the preservation of balance of power is the central theme or is the central objective behind this particular World War I. Now, we will take the approach, the traditional, the time tested introduction, body, conclusion, IBC approach in answering this question. In introduction, we describe the First World War in one line, and in the second line, we connect the introduction with the body. In body, we address the demand of the question by writing the balance of power as a central factor and discussing other significant causes and other significant factors. Thirdly, we summarize the answer in the conclusion. Now, the introduction. The First World War, give the time frame, was a devastating conflict that reshaped the global order. Just a one-line description of the First World War. Now, with the preservation of balance of power in Europe is often cited as the central cause, the war's origin are rooted in a complex interplay of multiple factors. So, this will be our connecting line that will connect the introduction and the body and set the uh, tempo for the body answer that is there. Now, we write with the preservation of balance of power. The balance of power preservation is the main central theme, main central objective, but there were other causes as well. Now, we write points about the balance of power as a central factor. So, the different alliance systems. The formation of triple alliance, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Italy, and triple entente, Britain, France, Russia, was primarily aimed at maintaining a balance of power, preventing any single nation from dominating Europe. So all these different powers, the Germans, the Austro-Hungarians, the Italians, French, British, Russians, none of them wanted that a single nation should dominate the proceedings in the Europe. German ascendancy. Germany's rapid industrial and military growth threatened the existing equilibrium, prompting Britain and France to counterbalance through alliance formation and through military buildup. So the rapid rise of Germany with the industrial and military growth, right? Like in early 20th century and late 19th century, Germany was developing rapidly and there was military growth also. So Germany also carved out certain colonies for itself in the Africa. So all this threatened the present order, the present equilibrium in which Britain and France were the dominant powers. So they tried to counterbalance Germany's rise through alliance formation and through military buildup. Third was the naval arms race. The intense naval competition between Britain and Germany exemplified the strategic efforts to maintain power parity. In order to rule the world, you need a powerful navy. So the British Navy at that point of time was the strongest navy present. But the rise in the German military strength and German naval strength led to an intense competition between Britain and Germany. Regional rivalries. Tensions in the Balkans, that is East Europe, especially between Austria Hungary and Russia, further destabilized the balance and drew alliances into a conflict. Now, the central idea was the balance of power. The central factor was the balance of power. Now, there were other significant causes, other factors. Factors like nationalism, imperialism, militarism and domestic pressures, and the immediate trigger or the immediate spark. So, the rising nationalist sentiments fueled territorial disputes and antagonisms, especially in Eastern Europe and the Balkans. Imperialism, competition for colonies, heightened rivalries as seen in the crisis like Morocco, which strained relations among European powers. So, mainly the imperial or colonial competition in the African continent, that too in the northern Africa. Third, the militarism and domestic pressures. The glorification of military power and internal political pressures made the war seem inevitable. So there was too much glorification of the military power of the different nation. Every nation was having a great pride in its military, and there were political pressures building within these colonies and building within these European powers. The immediate trigger was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914, that act as a spark in the already volatile environment. So all these factors of the nationalism, imperialism, militarism, the domestic pressures, and the tendency to and the balance of power, all these have made a fertile, volatile ground. It has provided a volatile environment, and this volatile environment, it just caught fire, it burned with the spark provided by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So, after discussing the various factors, the various causes of the World War One, now we write the conclusion. Like, while the preservation of balance of power was a significant and recurring theme in pre-war diplomacy and strategy, but this alone does not explain the outbreak of First World War. The rigid alliance systems, fueled by mutual suspicion, there was lack of trust in the entire continent at that point of time. This turned local disputes into global conflict. Okay, so nationalism, imperialism, militarism were equally potent forces that contribute to the escalation. So the main factor was the balance of power, preservation of balance of power, but the nationalist tendencies, the imperialism, and the military glorification of military, that is militarism, played the equal role, the potent role in the outbreak of World War One. The PDF of this model answer will be available to you on the Telegram group or Telegram channel of Shikara Academy, as well as our WhatsApp channel. Thank you.